I'm excited because they said they're gonna take over and use some of the 3DS features in the new game. So I'm excited to see what that means.
So you play with your 3D turned on a lot of time, I'm guessing?
Yeah, when I'm playing like games that are 3D, yeah.
I never turn it on. I always just play with it off. I
Really?
don't. Yeah, I have no. I don't see any. I don't get any thrill out of 3D.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do anything for me at all.
I really liked it in Super Mario Land
Okay.
3D. I really liked it in that. I thought it was well done because you got a lot of top-down stuff that looked really cool.
Well, there's a couple levels where you have to have it on,
Yeah,
or it's really hard though.
yeah. And so I actually liked it in that, but I'm like total like to be completely honest, like I'm totally cool with 3D.
Hmm.
Like I know a lot of people think it's like the downfall of the world. Um,
It's just like it feels gimmicky to me. It doesn't look. It doesn't look the way I really want it to.
mm, yeah, hmm, I think it's been used gimmicky,
Yeah.
but I don't think that it has to be that way.
Yeah. No. No. I get it. I just. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like movies like Avatar, like I feel like those were appropriate uses of 3D. Like that, where I feel like I'm like looking in a window and it just looks awesome.
Okay.
Even I went and saw The Hobbit, and I saw it in 3D, and it was appropriate. I don't need stuff jumping out at me. That's gimmicky and stupid.
Yeah.
But if anything that adds depth to whatever world I'm looking at, I like that.
You want to know what I think the best 3D movie is that I've seen?
What?
Is I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's at Lego World or Legoland, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a 4D Lego movie. It's like the fantasy uh, genre of Lego,
Huh.
and it's got stuff flying right at your face. It's totally cheesy, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And it's like you're sitting in the theater and like snowflakes come down on your head and wind is blowing in your face. So
Right.
it's like it's totally gimmicky, but
Yeah.
the movie itself was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think because I really like movies a lot. Um, and I always feel like I feel like I want to call myself a cinephile,
Hmm.
but then like I read what people that like are that say when like new movie technology happens,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not because like I'm reading critics and they're like slamming The Hobbit and they're like, oh, it's terrible and it's stupid and why did he film it like he did and it's the worst thing ever and death to cinema and
Mm.
I'm like, I love it, like I love it.
Yeah, I wasn't that thrilled with the movie.
Really?
I went in with pretty low expectations. It wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't really. It didn't do anything for me. It was long. Like I was like, okay, when is this gonna end? And then I forgot that it was multiple movies.
Yeah.
So when it got to the end, I was like, wait a minute. I just remembered this is not the end. There's like one more.
There's two
I,
more.
I know. I went home and looked it up, and I was like, oh no, I can't sit through 6 more hours.
No, but see, you say that, but I'm beyond excited about that. Um,
I feel like at some point in my life I might have been, but like it felt very formulaic. It felt like the prequels, the Star Wars prequels to me.
really? See, I got a totally different vibe off of it because, like, oh, I love Lord of the Rings. I I was in, let me see, I was in middle school when the first one came out.
Hmm.
My dad took me to see it with a bunch of friends, and I remember it was just this huge part of my life. And we went every year. We take the same group of friends. We went and saw every movie.
Hmm.
I'm about to die in this cave, by the way.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Um, but we went and saw every movie, and was like just loved it. And so, and I've actually had never read The Hobbit until like just now.
Okay.
But when I saw The Hobbit was coming out, I'm like, I didn't even care because honestly, I love the Lord of the Rings so much, and I love like Tolkien and his mythology. Like any amount of time I can spend like in Middle Earth, I'm cool with.
Okay.
And so for them to make, you know, 3 movies, everyone else is like, ugh, and I'm like, no, like how awesome is it? We get 3 more movies to be in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Because we're never gonna get it again. Like I'm just being like, if you, to be honest, like we're never gonna get it again because the Tolkien estates they have no desire to make any other movies. And so this is it. Like this is all we get, and so I'm cool with him using as much as he can to make as long of a movie as he wants to. But again, I'm the guy. I saw Return of the King. I saw every one of them in theaters 3 times.
Okay.
Return of the King, I saw 3 times
Wow.
in 48 hours.
Oh.
So, I mean, I'm that guy. So, of course, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, they're good. There's no question about it. But when I read the Tolkien stuff as a kid, like I couldn't get through it. It was boring. It felt cliche, even though everything is based on that, right? Like
Right. It feels cliche because the things that are cliche now
exactly,
are using his source material.
exactly. So like I get all that, but I like the first 3 movies, but they're just too long and
Yeah.
there's too much like. Okay, get split up from Gandalf. Get into a situation where you're gonna die. He comes and saves you. You run. He
Yeah.
splits off. It just happens over and over and over, and I'm like, oh, come on, like,
Yeah, but if you like, how much of like Tolkien mythology do you know?
I don't know, moderate amount maybe.
Okay, well, so like Gandalf, he's not human. Um, he and all of the other wizards are a specific type of people.
Yeah, like the Watchers or something.
They are, and they have another name, the Ishtar, I think.
Okay.
And Tolkien was a linguist first, like before he was anything else, he was a linguist.
Yeah.
And so he wrote with that in mind. He was writing mythology and languages.
Yeah.
He was really writing languages and then mythology for those languages to live in. And so the Ishtar were actually like helpers to the Valar, which are like this angelic kind of race.
Okay.
And when Sauron rose to power the first time, the Valar sent all of the Ishtar to Middle Earth to help the peoples of Middle Earth.
Okay.
That's literally their job. Their job is to show up and help the people of Middle Earth. And so for Gandalf to do that, like, that's his job. And so it is like, I get what you're saying about like, oh, all hell breaks loose, and then Gandalf shows up and makes everything better. But to be fair, that is his job. So
Yeah, it's good. Like, so fantasy is my #1 genre. I I think more and more I'm into post-apocalyptic, but anyway, let's just call it fantasy.
right,
I think I've never seen a good fantasy movie other than like Princess Bride. And
right,
so when the Lord of the Rings came out, I was like, finally, this is what fantasy's supposed to look like and feel like. And like Legolas, bouncing around and stabbing an arrow and then shooting it. And it was awesome. It's amazing.
right.
But then everything in between the battles, I was like, okay, please, just fast forward to the battle.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I guess because I like was into it and like the lore and stuff.
yeah.
Because like, okay, so like I majored in religion, and when you read a lot of Tolkien stuff, really his point was like he basically wanted England to have a mythology of its own. Like he was really into like Norse mythology and Greek mythology, and he wanted England to have its own mythology.
Okay, I didn't know
And so that's what he was doing. I mean, even when you look at like Rohan, it has a lot of similarities to kind of Norse imagery and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, Even back like going back to like I don't know if you ever had to read Beowulf in school.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But a lot of stuff in Rohan is built off of that. Um, and so I mean, he knew what he was doing as far as that,
Hmm.
and he crafted like all of this lore.
Right.
Like if you read like the book The Silmarillion,
Yep. I
um,
tried. I really did.
it's hard. It's hard. And it reads like a religious text too. Like that's the harder part. Which I eat up because I mean, I majored in it, so
Hmm.
I've had to read countless, religions, stories, and I love that stuff. Um, but so if you know that stuff going into it, you're like, you meet a character and like they'll say something, and if you're watching Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, you may not know what the crap they're talking about. But if you've read like anything like the lore, like I was the kid like going through the appendices of Lord of the Rings, trying to
Hmm.
to learn all the backstories, and like okay, the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, they call Gandalf like 5 million things.
Right. Right.
They call him Gandalf. The elves call him Mithrandir. Um, Theoden, he calls him Gandalf Stormcrow. And he has all these different names. It's because he's a bajillion years old.
Yep.
But everybody knows him as something different. And I know that, but like people that haven't read the lore, like they don't know that. And so for me, like I'm like, oh, that's cool that they use that because that's something not everybody knows.
Hmm. Hmm.
But then for people that don't know what's going on, it's like, why did they do that? Why is that necessary?
Yeah. I really I used to be that way, but now it's like just give me the easy story and
Right.
and a plot twist. I mean, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, my Charmander evolved into Charmeleon.
Nice. Yeah, I need to put Bulbasaur out and let him get some extra XP.
I figured out what I've been missing in this game is the NPCs, the trainers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't battle you if you just cross their line of sight. You actually have to go talk to them,
Yeah.
and so that's why I keep feeling like I'm missing the story because normally they'll stop you,
Yeah.
and here, yeah, if you don't walk up to them, it's like you don't know they're
The super important ones do, like when you get to the scientist who's at the fossils, like he'll stop you.
okay. Because I just walked past the Team Rocket guy in this
Yeah,
cave.
those guys will stop you. Apparently, they don't consider Team Rocket super important,
Yeah.
which is stupid because they're the bad guys. Um, but yeah, the scientist, he's gonna stop you, but that's because you have to make a choice there.
Okay. I'll have to. I left to go heal up, but I think I missed. I obviously missed an exit or something.
Oh,
So,
what am I doing? What am I doing? That's terrible. Um, Crap. I don't have a potion.
yep,
It.
I'm potionless as well. It's pretty rough. I don't. I feel like the new games you definitely don't struggle this much. Or maybe
No.
I don't know. It's weird. Definitely weird. Like Black and White, I don't think, or Black and White 2, I don't think I've had all my Pokemon knocked out yet, and I haven't done any grinding.
Hmm. I don't know. I've been behind there, but again, it's a lot of because of Mike, the way I am with. I just want to get through the story.
But,
So that's why like on my Pokemon, like my Emerald series, I've been like just grinding because I so often I'm like so many levels behind.
yeah, I think there was one spot in, I want to say it was Platinum, where I got to the gym leader and I just couldn't do it. I had to go grind. But most of the time, I'm like right at the level, like one
Hmm.
or two levels above the gym leader's highest Pokemon,
Right.
which is pretty much what you need to be.
Yeah.
And they're pretty well paced. Like, my Pokedex is usually pretty full by the end, just from encountering
Hmm.
wild, but not even grinding them. So
I really need this Grimer not to try to attack me. No, there we go.
I'm fighting a Paris, first one I've seen. Actually,
You
I
can
wonder.
choose Thundershock.
Oh, it's pretty nice. You can actually open like your Pokedex and stuff during the battle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all windowed. That's pretty cool.
I am a fan.
Yeah, this is a really good implementation. I mean, a few minor things, and I'm not really. Now that I'm in here, I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in the social aspect of all these other people.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Um, but this is a good. This is really nice.
Yeah, I think honestly I like it a lot more for just the way it's laid out and done. I mean
Yeah,
and it's the first Pokemon game that I played. Like that's the cool factor for me.
yeah. It's good. It's definitely made me want to now go and pick up my white too. So that's
Right.
that's one of the main things I was hoping for because like I want to beat that game by before October, and then
Right.
I want to transfer all my Pokemon from Black over to it
Mhm.
so that I have them all going into whatever this new one is. But
Right.
I was getting a little worried that I wasn't gonna do it. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. Now, do you document like your progress through White 2 or Black 2 or whatever?
Like what do you
Not
mean?
like you don't vlog about it or anything, do you?
No.
Okay.
I haven't.
You have
At
to.
least.
I'm gonna probably do. I've got I think I don't know 4 or 5 episodes of a vlog for my progress. I'm gonna do one more with where I am. I think I'm gonna resume that series. So you should check it out and let me
Cool, yeah.
know how far. It's not on my Ars Malik channel. It's on Obvious Obscure. I'll have to.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. I
Okay.
think I might be subscribed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the link. But there's about 5 Minecraft people that play Pokemon, so we all kind of
Mhm.
chat and sounds similar. They all started Black and White. I think only one of them is still playing White or Black and White 2. I think the rest kind of it's sort of a casual,
Right.
but it's good stuff.
It is.
Fun.
It is. All right, I'm getting my butt kicked over here.
Yeah, if I think I'm gonna find my way out of this cave and then I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, I agree.
I I,
Uh,
I find that the other thing I find is I forgot I'm in this battle. I forgot that I'm fighting a wild Pokemon. I forgot to try and
right.
catch him. Have
I'm
to look.
definitely fighting the scientist trying to get this fossil,
Yeah,
and
what?
he is about
Where
to
is
take me
he?
out.
Where is
He's
he?
like the last thing you get to.
I'm like, somehow I can't figure out. I keep going in the same cave, like the same room.
Right. Yeah. When you come in, like you kind of go up and to the right a little bit,
Okay.
and you bypass that ladder, and you're gonna kind of circle all the way back around to the left.
Okay. I went down the ladder. That's probably my problem.
Yep, it is.
So go
I have
back.
one Pokemon that's still alive. It's my Bulbasaur. But if I can get any hit on this coughing, then I'll be alright.
So, and other than losing money in this one, you don't lose anything if your Pokemon faint, right?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't. I don't think so. I feel like when I played the very first Pokemon game, before I knew like how it worked, I was so scared that like if it said if someone used Growl and it said that my attack was lowered, that it was like lowered forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was like
Like,
terrified.
oh no!
I was like, oh my god, reset the game. Like go back to the last save.
Oh man. I don't know if I've told this story on my Emerald playthrough, but or if I've told it tonight, I can't remember. We've been playing a while. Um, but the first time I played Pokemon Red, when I got to this kind of brings back the not knowing what's going on in games unless you had like the book or you like called the Nintendo hotline or whatever. Um, but when I first found Zapdos
Oh yeah.
in Pokemon Red, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. Like, I'm gonna try to catch it." And I fought it and knocked it out.
Oh
And I was like, "Oh, well, that's fine. I'll see it again." And I had no idea what I had just done. And I just kind of carried on with life as normal.
oh.
and then eventually was like, oh my god, what I just realized what I did, and I had to start over. Like as a kid, it was it was hard.
Yeah, I don't remember if this is the case, but or if it was a different Pokemon. But I feel like that was one where I can't remember if I still had my Master Ball or not, but I had like tons of not Great Balls, Ultra Balls,
Hmm.
and like I would like be saved right in front of him. I'd log in, I'd fight him, and I would just like fight till I was on my last guy, and then just throw all 40 and hope to gosh that I could catch him, and then
Right.
reset and do it again and again.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like eventually you catch him more on a random roll the
Random
dice thing.
luck. Yeah. Yep. I know that well.
And I'm so glad that they let you trade from older games into black and white, because I was not at all interested in chasing the legendary dogs around the map and trying to catch them when they appear.
Right.
I think that's probably the worst mechanic in the game.
Hmm.
It's like the ones that you just have to sort of look on the map and hope that you're,
You find them.
yeah,
I agree. I agree.
here's another rocket guy. I think I'm on the path now.
Right on.
I think,
I'm already in the next city. I'm actually tempted to go try to just take some of Misty's
oh,
people out.
now is this one, is she not in the gym? She's like with a boy in the park or something? Or that,
No, I think she's in the gym.
okay. Maybe I'm thinking of Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, cause I'm in the gym. I just walked into the gym. Yeah, she's here.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's Gold Silver. She's like out in a meadow with some boy, and
Uh,
you have to interrupt her and then go back to the gym.
gotcha.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I'm definitely gonna have to play those again. I think that might be my next project after I finish Emerald.
Okay.
Or my next, because I don't know. I'm enjoying playing these kind of older games.
Yeah, I want to see what happens with the story. Like I said, I missed that one, and especially the whole Groudon and what's the name of the other legendary, the green
Oh,
dragon thing,
what's that thing called?
Rayquaza, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like
Rayquaza.
those guys, like when I played Platinum, I had no idea who they were. They're like, I just had to get them, but I was like, I don't know their backstory.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else I pretty much knew.
Hmm.
So yeah, it'd be good to watch that.
For sure. Yeah, I've only played it the once, um, because I played through and didn't let it run through the credits and turned it off and
Mm.
turned it back on to like go through. You know, at the end, I was gonna keep going and hit the little button to start my save file, and it told me that the save file was corrupted.
Wow. Knock on
And
wood, I haven't had that happen.
I mean, then this happened like literally like I beat the game. I was like, yes, beat it. And the credits start, so I'm like doing everything I know to, A, B, start, select, blah, blah, blah. Pressing buttons, trying to skip it. I'm like, I don't want to watch these credits. I just don't want to do it. And so I was like, well, I'll just turn it off and then turn it back on. Because
Oh,
I did want to start playing it immediately. Um, so I turned it off, turned it back on, and I mean, like, I had just literally beaten the game, and then I lost everything.
oh.
So that's why I haven't played that game since then.
I was surprised. We had a garage sale like a year ago, and we found a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color. I forget what it was now. And we had Pokemon Yellow, and we had Pokemon Trading Card Game. Were the only two games that we saved. I guess we didn't get rid of, and both of them worked. The save files and everything.
Wow.
I was really happy with that because the Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy is so much fun.
Yeah, I never got into that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I really like that.
I don't think I ever liked like card games in like game form.
Okay. See, I was always big into role playing games and miniature games.
Hmm.
Um, like I even used to ref like tournaments and stuff at Gen Con.
Right.
And so when I got into card games, like that was just amazing. And
Yeah.
I was never really into Magic
See, that's
the
what I
Gathering.
played. So
I never really played it, but I definitely got into the Pokemon.
yeah, I think I had Pokemon card. I know I had Pokemon cards, but it was mostly like just because I was into Pokemon. I don't know that I ever really played very
Hmm.
often. I just liked collecting them.
Okay.
And like my grandmother would take me to these like flea markets and stuff around here,
Hmm.
and it seemed like every flea market we went to, like people were selling Pokemon cards.
Okay.
And I remember back then, like it was always like you'd go to these stores and there'd be like Japanese cards,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'd get those because like they
Ooh.
looked different.
Yep.
Because like they look cooler.
Yep.
I mean, this is like I remember like when I went to like a flea market and I saw a card, and this is before there had been a game with Meryl in it.
Yep. The
But
islands set.
there was a Meryl card.
Yep.
But I want to say I got a Japanese card. I don't think I had like an American card.
Yep.
And I remember this is back when it like we just first saw pictures of Meryl,
Yep.
and I think at the time everyone was still calling it like Pika Blue,
Yep. Yep.
and like none of us had any idea what it was. Which like I miss that. I miss like that time in gaming
Yep.
where like this thing could come out that we weren't really sure what it was,
Yep.
and like all of the speculation. That's why I'm kind of bummed they like told us what these new legendaries names are already.
Yeah, I'm curious how many Pokemon there are going to be, but I'm right there with you. I remember when that set came out, and that was part of the fun. Is like figuring this stuff out before.
Hmm.
In fact, that's one thing I'm a little bit worried about with, not worried, but like usually a Pokemon game comes out in Japan,
Hmm.
and so by the time it's out in America, like I already know a lot of the spoilers and stuff.
Right.
And not that I necessarily want the spoilers because you still have to play it,
Hmm.
but like the anticipation was great. Like here, I don't think we're going to get a lot of information, so we're basically just going to be, you know, discovering it all at the same time. But
Hmm.
I kind of like that period of, like, oh, what's going on in Japan? Oh, I can't wait till we can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like at this point in the world, like I think it's cool that we can kind of all experience it at the same time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I'm saying, like going back in the past, like it was like that. That's the reason, like that whole, us calling Meryl Peekaboo for a million years,
Yep.
until it finally did come over here. That wouldn't have happened if we'd had I guess a simultaneous release.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
don't know. I see like merits to both. I think.
Yeah, and actually, like that Pokemon in particular, but there's been a few others. Like I liked that name Peekaboo
Yeah,
much better than Meryl.
Meryl. Yeah, but at the same time, like the only reason we called it Peekaboo was because it looked kind of mousy. Like it didn't really have.
Yeah.
There's no and its tail being like kind of similar, but with water at the end of it. Like that's the only reason we called it that. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like wasn't that the generation that we got the baby Pokemon?
yes.
Because I feel like somebody said that was the baby version of Pikachu, and then it turned out to be,
Yeah, somebody
uh,
did say that, but
yeah,
I think we just got Meryl in that game. Um,
I can't remember now.
I'm pretty sure because um, it's Azurill is its baby form. Um,
And then Azumarill. No, Peekaboo, or I'm sorry, wait.
it's Azurill and then it evolves into Meryl, but only through happiness. And then Meryl will evolve into Azumarill
Azumarill.
at
Okay.
level 23, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I just did it in white too, I think, so that's why I'm like it's kind of fresh in my mind.
It's funny. Yeah, that. Ah, man. Yeah, you're reminding me of like all kinds of little things that like I was speculating and anticipating that then either did or didn't happen. And
Yeah, it's definitely a cool time of like it for gaming. Like I don't know that we really have anything like that anymore because